Hi, everyone. My name is Jamie West, and I am the Executive Director of the Substitute Management Advisory Council, bringing you the Substitute Scoop. On today's episode, I'm meeting with Tina Limmer from Puyallup School District in Washington, and we're going to learn a little bit about our experience here at AASPA this week in the lovely city of Nashville, Tennessee, and go over really what our presentation's about and talk a little bit about our districts. So here we go, Tina. You ready? Welcome.
Ready.
Welcome to the Scoop.
Thanks.
Awesome. So how have you liked ASPA so far? This is your first time at the national conference this week, right? It was great.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The keynote speakers have been just amazing.
Yeah.
Just
Are you like taking pictures of every slide?
yes, yeah.
Me too. I
Yeah.
did it
Every
the,
camera up.
the whole time. And
Yeah.
then they'll switch back to their face and I'm like, man, I missed the slide.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's all
Awesome.
and great breakout sessions.
I love it.
Yeah, tons of vendors to talk to and
Yeah.
just find out what they do.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way. I think one of the things we get to do this week was be able to have the Substitute Management Advisory Council like almost tabletop sponsored by Red Rover. That's been really nice. We've been able to connect with different sub managers. People are like, what is this council? What is this symposium? It's been really nice being able to like share it and share the podcast. So it has been awesome. I think I've name dropped you a few times. I'm like, yeah, you're from Washington. You got to find Tina. So is she. And we've been able to connect. It's been really, really cool. So we present here at the conference, and it's really awesome that we have this opportunity. In our presentation, Tina and I get to talk about, for our listeners, Tina and I get to talk about fill rates. We have this awesome program in both of our districts that we get to share. Me from Lake County, Florida, her from Puyallup, Washington. Very similar, but very different. Even though I'm from Florida, we're considered a medium district and we're still much bigger than you. So tell me really quick about the size of your district, what your sub pool looks like, so you can share it with our listeners.
So the size of our district is about 23,000 kiddos.
Okay.
So substantially smaller than your county school district in Florida. We're the fifth largest school district in Washington State. And our sub pool, I like to count all of our subs from custodian and food service to
Include
even
that.
our Red Rover subs. And that's about 650 substitutes.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's a lot of subs for the size. How many teachers do you have? Do you know?
About 1,500.
1,500
Yeah.
teachers and you have 650 subs. Your
Yeah.
ratio is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And no wonder your fill rates are just so
Yeah.
good over there in Washington. In Florida, in Lake County, we're the heart of Lake County. So, or we're just north of Orlando, south of Ocala. So kind of like how you're near Seattle, we're near Orlando, but we're not in the metropolis, right? Like you're close enough, yet far enough. And we have 3,000 teachers and maybe on a good year, 800 subs. So our ratio is so different, but somehow have the same fill rate. And I think that's what's fascinating about our presentation is that you get to see what each of us is doing, what's working, what we've tried that doesn't work, and we
Right.
get to share that. So I'm very excited. It's been a really, really great week here at ASPA. One of the things I did want to talk about is in our presentation, we discussed our fill rates and what that looked like and how they've improved and things we've done to improve those fill rates, right? We've, after COVID, experienced a lot of stuff like everybody else in regards to not just substitutes, but our pipelines for people to become employees and what that looks like. And you talk a lot about most of your employee pool were once subs at one point. So tell me a little bit about that and what that looks like.
About 85%. So
Yeah.
about 85% of our employees that are hired permanently have come through the sub ranks. Some of it's people who have barely gotten into the door
Yeah.
and they're already being snatched up by a principal who really likes them. Others have been subbing for a little while, but it's definitely the pipeline for them. I feel like for substitutes to try us out and find
Yeah.
out. There's 32 different schools and 32 different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to try us out a little bit and find the school that really feels right for them.
Yeah.
And we get to try them out.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
I think there's so many opportunities for subs to start in any substitute capacity. non-instructional, instructional, classified, non-classified, whatever you call it in your district, and turn into a full-time employee because one, like you said, they get snatched up. Those principals go, "You're showing up today. Let's hire you full-time," because obviously the teacher you're covering for isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So making sure they're filling those holes. But I think one of the other things that you guys do well, very like what we do in Lake, is recognizing those subs. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing to recognize your subs, even at the district level, let alone the school level, like both.
Yeah. So, at the district level,
Mhm.
definitely gaining relationship.
Yeah.
That's um, recognizing that. I mean, recognition could be a celebration, but it also can be just making sure that they know that that we know they're there.
Yeah.
And then we also do a big sub. Uh, Day at the end of the year.
Mhm.
And recently, it's been a drive-through. They don't want to come. They're done with their year two, right? And so they come. They get their goodies. We thank them, give them a card, and off they go. But a lot of them really appreciate that. That
Yeah.
so. And at the buildings, so many of the buildings have relationships with them because they are day in day out in those schools. So I think our office managers and administrators are really good to our subs.
This episode of the Substitute Scoop is brought to you by Red Rover, a modern human capital management solution built for K 12 school districts. From hiring and onboarding to time tracking, absence management, and professional development management, Red Rover helps districts work smarter, stay connected, and keep classrooms covered. Learn more at redroverk12.com. So when you say good to your subs, do you have like an example, like a they get like for us, I have this one principal at a middle school because I don't know about your district, but no one wants to sub at a middle school in Lake County for some reason. It is really hard. And so she has completely changed her fill rate. After COVID, it was about 50%, maybe on a good day, that she had subs filling absences. And now she's 100% every single day
Oh, wow.
because she is out front, her or someone from her front office team, an administrator of some kind, is out front when people are arriving in the morning, welcoming subs. She's not even in the office. She's outside welcoming them with a student who's going to walk them to their classroom because they have little safety patrols and they walk them to the class, gives them a bag that has a water, a bag of chips, and the emergency map and procedures for the school. And it's like their little sub bag for the
That's an
day.
awesome idea.
And people
Yeah.
love going there. Like,
Yeah.
she's just she's the reason people wanna be there. And I think that's something that we need to have more of. And it's so simple. It's free. It costs nothing to be kind,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And to go out of your way for others. And I think if we have that building admin that think outside the box like that and take away those ideas, I think it really could change fill rates without having to think too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I love.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
Might
I
borrow
love it.
that.
Um, so a little bit more about recognition. I know your culture in your district is really good. We talked about it a little bit earlier before we actually went live on this podcast here. Tell me a little bit about just the culture and shift, even in the past few years, and like what it looks like in your district. Every district's going to be a little different in the sense that you have HR having their hands in subs. You sometimes have a third party that has their hands in subs. You got school level has their hands in subs. All that affects that culture and that retention. And then hopefully the pipeline for them to become full time employees. So tell me a little bit about the culture and just some happy subs in your district.
So I think one thing that I'm very proud of our district with is that we have multiple sub coordinators.
Yeah.
So many districts around
Lucky.
us. Yeah, yeah. So many districts around us do not have that. And to even process the substitutes through for onboarding and be able to have gain that relationship again is difficult with one person
Mhm.
spinning so many plates.
Yeah.
And so, what I am very proud that our leaders have allowed us to have multiple folks in the sub office who genuinely care about our subs,
Mhm.
and so it's not a one, it's a one, it's two to many, three to many,
Yeah.
but that makes a huge difference of the people in there. They know what schools, people like, even
Yeah.
without looking in Red Rover. It's
I
just
love that.
it's yeah, they're, definitely, in tune
Yeah.
with those, especially, especially the very loyal subs. They know who they can call on in a moment.
And he'll show up for them last
Yeah.
minute, like day of, "I'm sick, what do I do?"
And yeah, and they've started processes for, folks to communicate with them about, long-term preferences
Mhm.
and things like that, so that they're working together with the sub,
Mhm.
instead of running behind all the time. So
Yeah.
it's been really, really nice. Um, it's fun to sit back and listen
Yeah.
in the sub office when they're talking to, well, the office staff, but also the
Yeah.
substitutes,
Mhm.
because it's a friendship conversation
It
they're
is.
having, instead of just, can you deploying somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
It's definitely a friendship conversation, and having personal conversations with
Yeah.
them.
Like, "How was your day? How are
Yeah.
things going?" Getting a pulse
Yeah.
of your substitute pool, and I think that's something a lot of us don't take the time to do because we focus in HR so much on our employee pool that we forget about those substitutes, and I think that's something your district has done a great job with. One, you have the team dedicated. You
Yeah.
realize there was an issue and that you need to conquer that issue and do it by building relationships and building connections, and now you've retained
Yeah.
employees because of that you've retained your subs. I think one of the things that speaks volumes is that you have the ability to have a team that goes through really holds their hand through their whole onboarding process too,
Mhm.
right? You have
Yep.
dedicated people. So they're building relationships from that very first impression with a substitute, which is a big deal. Like they, in a lot of districts, they do not get that kind of attention.
Right.
So kudos to you guys. And you're able to kind of walk them through the whole process. So take me through, since you have this dedicated team, take me through the process of what does onboarding look like? Do they get sub PD because you have the manpower to do it? What does that look like, that
Yeah.
piece?
Yeah, the onboarding is done by our sub coordinators. We have, uh, analysts that will screen applications
Okay.
of that. And so they meet with them, each substitute one-on-one, and go through their information, and, uh, bringing them on, answering any questions.
Yeah.
And I love to listen to them down the hall. Like I
Yeah.
said, it's just fun to hear what the conversations that are happening. And then that same team does, do PD. I
Okay.
mean, even after onboarding.
Okay.
So there's, all throughout the year, that there's, trainings that go on, that is offered out to all of the subs, behavior class management, or, um, we all sorts of different topics that
Yeah.
they.
I love that. So, are you doing when you say PD, is it equivalent to like what you would do for a teacher per se, or is it more like focused in on things a substitute is looking for?
Yeah, more we're
Okay.
focused on things substitute is looking for.
Okay. Yeah, for us we're big on classroom management. I feel like a lot of subs, they're career changers or they're stay-at-home moms. So a lot of our stay-at-home moms, we do have the plus because they'll be like, I'm really good at de-escalating
Yeah.
situations. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you're hired.
Yeah.
But the classroom management piece is one of those. You're not just de-escalating situations, you're managing the attitude of the classroom every day. And I think that's something that's really hard for people who don't go through an educator program or have an educator background because you don't have that experience there. You have that experience maybe as a parent or a family member or just a person in helping manage other attitudes around you. But one of the things we do with our sub boot camp in Lake County is in our classroom management session, we actually coach them on how their attitude is contagious.
No.
And doing that has been one of our busiest PD sessions. They love hearing that. And then we go through a session for building relationships, and making sure that they're building relationship not just with the student for a day, but so that student knows who they are when they come back in 3 months to cover that same classroom.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's made a huge difference for us. So,
I
yeah.
think the other thing we've done, is, uh, on probably the shortage areas that we
Yeah.
have in
Yeah.
substitutes is special education.
Yeah.
And,
Hot
so
topic right now.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, so exposing them, to some of the information and maybe, getting rid of some of the myths
Yeah.
because there's so many different I mean, I don't know, probably 10 different, types of special education within our district,
Ah,
and so, just educating them on what each thing
what it
means.
means.
Yeah,
How do you
so
approach it? How do you
right.
support the students?
Yeah,
And eliminating the fear. That's
yeah,
another thing for our subs. Our subs will look at jobs and in our absence management platform, and then they're able to scroll through and go, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know what that acronym means, or I don't know. ESC is kind of scary, not really sure, haven't done it before. So they're scared to even try it.
yeah,
So implementing that information somewhere in your PD and letting them know, like, it's okay. You have our support if you cover that class, and then we're gonna give you the tools you need to support the students in that
right.
class. Yeah.
And, them knowing that there's paraeducators in there with them that
Oh,
are there every day, and
yes,
yeah,
I
so
know.
a lot of our substitute not a lot, but we have, I guess a lot, in our district, in our state, we have emergency certificates.
Okay.
So if you, it's by each district standard, but our standard is if they have to have a bachelor's degree, and it may
Okay.
not be in education.
Yeah.
So we can quote
Similar to
kind
Florida.
of
We have something like that. Yeah.
sponsor them for with Puyallup's name on their certificate,
Okay.
and so though really they're walking in with no classroom experience, so that's really important for the special ed and for folks that are coming in
Yeah.
like that.
Definitely.
Then sometimes they tend to be
Sometimes they tend to
phenomenal
be the best.
subs. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of our career changers have been some of our most patient
Yeah.
and successful substitutes, and they're usually the ones that get hired the fastest.
Yeah.
It really surprises me. We get a lot of career changers in Lake County. We sit near the villages. We sit near Orlando. People are moving to Florida left and right. So we get a lot of people who've never been in that classroom as an educator. And so it is really nice being able to have them get their foot in the door as a sub, right? And go through that pipeline you and I talk
Yeah.
so much about. So I love that our districts have that in common, even though we're on literally complete opposite parts of our country.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tina.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for presenting with me this past week at ASPA. And we've had so much fun this week.
Yes, we have.
Nashville is awesome.
It's
Thank you
amazing.
to the American Association of School Personnel and Administrators for hosting this conference and allowing us to be here. And yeah, so thank you so much, listeners. That is the Substitute Scoop. See you next time.